comin. I'm pretty sure we're live, ladies and gentlemen. It is April 17th, 2025, coming at you live from the 2LaneLIVE headquarters in Canoga Park, California. This episode is brought to you by Law Tigers Motorcycle Attorneys. Getting in an accident, getting some trouble, give them a call first before your insurance, and they'll get you what you need. They'll help you out. Today, we got the legend of George Coury, the living legend in the house, which is Lance's father. Just a heads up, this may not be a family-friendly episode. So if you got kids around, there's that.
Hey, wait a minute. I thought he's my father.
He's everyone's
Didn't
father.
you adopt me?
I did. I didn't think you knew it. I adopted that asshole over there too.
Sure did.
I got
So you got two extra sons?
Yeah, I really did.
And I just do want to make another public service announcement. Let me take any branding off of this so it doesn't fall on anyone else. Galen asked if I wanted to have a drink. I said, you know what? Because George is here, I'll have a small splash. This is the drink that he poured. I know there's an ice cube in there.
It's just a spherical ball in there.
Oh,
it's like
so
huge.
Yeah. Okay, so that's not a full
well,
splash.
Either way, cheers to you boys.
Cheers.
Lance is having
Same
a
to you,
little-
George, welcome
Thank you,
into the
George.
studio.
Thank you.
glad to
Thank
have
you,
you.
Galen. My two adopted sons.
Wow.
Wait, I thought I've known you for 65 years.
Shut up for a minute.
Wait, did you do the Eagle?
I did
Law
let them
Tigers?
know that Law Tiger Motorcycle Attorneys.
He was on
What
it.
about 805?
Well, 805 supplied you the beer that you're also drinking, and they got a sign behind
Right.
your shoulder, which is a little cut off today, but we won't forget about it.
And what about EagleRider?
Well,
Let's just get
this
it all out
episode
of
is
the way.
also brought to you by EagleRider Motorcycle Rentals and Tours. Don't forget to
Perfect.
check out 2LaneLIVE.com under the EagleRider tab to see how you can book a trip, save some money, and have a good time while you're at it.
I
I'm
see.
having some issues updating the banner on the site, so just forget about it for now.
Forget about it.
Forget
Forget
about
about it. I see riding with yogurts on there.
That's right.
Shannon.
I think
been a
everyone
minute.
tuned in today just to hear the legend of George Coury and see the legend. Look at this badass right here.
So
Look at that
yeah,
Oh boy, I feel like I'm at an intervention.
Well,
Is something going on? I don't
we
know.
wouldn't intervene if you've got whiskey. So you're just
I have
welcome
whiskey.
in the house.
Okay.
there it is in the
Nice.
house.
Nice
Uh,
to be here.
We thank you, and we had a really good drop yesterday. I don't know if you watched that one yet.
They
Maybe-
took out a ball movement.
yes, a number 2.
What's a drop? I don't. You're talking
our,
beyond me.
our YouTube video that we
Oh.
put out yesterday?
That's a drop.
Yes,
It's
one
not
of
the
10.
kind of
It's
drop I
beautiful.
know.
I think everyone loves to watch your grandson, your son, and Galen ride motorcycles together.
Right. And Josh.
But not
No,
me.
no,
But not me.
Junior, yourself, and Galen. I
Yes.
didn't say
So
it.
proud of all of them. So proud of my son and grandson, and sometimes you and Josh.
So, George,
Yes.
this is a partially serious question, which I think you can align with,
Seriously?
Yeah.
Okay.
kind of. When I started doing this with them, the 2Lane stuff, my dad, more likely my dad than parents, was like, what the fuck are you doing? What is this? Like, it's hard for the previous generation to conceptualize how a business, how what we do can be turned into a business and eventually make a living. What did you think when your son was like, hey, I'm going to go ride around the country on motorcycles and start a YouTube channel?
To really be honest,
Yeah.
I thought he was nuts. I thought he was crazy, but he was a free spirit, and I thought, wow, at his age, doing what he does,
Yep.
I thought it was kind of crazy, but I like crazy, and
But-
he did it, and look where he is today.
That's true. And at the
Crazy.
same time, when you think about your grandkids, his grandkids, they are now able to watch back on hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of discussions like this and videos of us traveling all over, and it lives on forever, which I think is pretty cool.
Totally cool.
Yep.
Beyond my thinking, really. Beyond my thinking, what you guys have done. I can only sit back and enjoy the ride, which you're taking me with you. Never sat on a motorcycle before, but I
You did
enjoy what's going on, blows my mind,
Yeah.
and it's awesome.
But isn't it kind of cool? Like when we first started this stuff, Lance Jr. had just had the kids, and little Lance was born, and Joyce was here in each of these different offices
Right.
babysitting him. And at any given time, you would be here, your son would be here, your grandson and your great grandson, 4 generations.
So you're talking family.
Pretty cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
It's all family. And I have to go back where it started.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
75 years ago, I saw a 17-year-old girl, fell in love with her immediately. She was beautiful, smelled like flowers. She was just an angel. And fell in love immediately. But on top of all that, she had a nice set of knockers. And that helped. But back to love.
And she got you out of a couple fights with the cold cream in her purse.
You guys were like a fighting duo.
Yeah, my wife was my sidekick, and she still is today. She is unbelievable. And I get pissed off a lot. So does she. But at night, when we go to sleep, believe it or not, we just lay there and snore. Both of us. But she's an angel. I love her from day one.
But you guys, every day at 4:00, you guys do happy hour in the backyard.
Yes.
Now, remind everyone out here, you guys, he's 92 and my mom's 91.
She'll be 92 in a few months.
And they both drive their own cars. They live in their own house about a mile away from me. So we've been fortunate because we're not taking care of 2 people. We hang out with people. My parents have always been people that all my friends wanted to be at the party.
Wow.
It's not like hide from the parents. Where's your mom and dad? Because your dad's going to cut it up. He's going to smoke and drink and have a good time. So it's always been fun.
I'll put it this way. None of these people will let us get an old age. We can't get to an old age because they won't let us. And I'm calling it elder abuse. They won't leave us alone. But I'll tell you what, he has kept me young. My son here has kept me young, my wife young. This guy has kept me young. I don't like you either.
I might be doing the opposite, but we'll see.
I'll tell you what, it's just been a ride that I'll never forget till the day I'm gone.
Well, think about the lifetime you've lived, and think about what was the first television show that you watched when you were a kid?
Right.
Were you around the radio?
Totally radio,
Right?
And then Cave.
Then it went, yeah. So you were listening to the what's the Ohio Silver?
Lone Ranger.
Lone Ranger. All these different shows that were on radio, and then the television. Think about.
I'm thinking about.
And now you have a cell phone.
What I'm thinking about
Right.
is, I'm realizing when you're talking like this,
Yeah.
how fucking old you make me seem. So shut up.
But I think it's cool that you've been able to see generationally all the things, what the country's gone through over the 90 years you've been alive.
Unbelievable.
Just and the technology that the country's gone through and the world's gone through. It's just
Well,
insane.
That's an interesting point because there's times when I call him at night. I go, "What are you doing right now?" "Oh, I'm just on the internet." So sitting at a computer looking at stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. So talk about Joyce for a minute.
What is it you're looking at,
how
George?
many times has she been kicked off Facebook?
Oh yeah,
Well,
What'd you say?
I said, what is it you're looking at, George? Do you have supervision?
this way? Wait a minute.
No, I mean on the internet when you're at home alone.
That used to be porno. Then they cut that right out. Because if you got on it, it blasted.
Yeah.
You were caught.
Something.
My wife would come down saying, "What are you doing?"
Turn the speaker down.
I'm watching cartoons, honey.
Yeah, that's right.
Because right now it's all cartoons.
So what'd you say about my mom? You said,
How many times has she been kicked off Facebook?
yes, my mom has been locked off Facebook probably 50 times because she has no problem saying what she feels on posts. So she's been in Facebook jail.
She's an angel, but I got to watch her. Not swearing, not her language.
No.
Just she can get kind of mean. The worst fight I ever had was when she swung and missed. No, I don't want to talk about that. She never missed. She
She is a beautiful woman, George, and she anytime you go to the house, anytime you're here, it's hugs and kisses, and she's just always welcoming, preparing meals.
What pisses him off is if it's
Right.
2 a.m. and someone comes over and they're hungry, she'll make food for him and he gets mad, like, leave us alone, you know.
Right. That's
It's midnight, you know.
cost of groceries. It's getting bad.
You know, I
So-
could have saved a lot of money because I was
Yeah.
looking at renting right next door to George,
Yes.
and I would have never had to buy groceries
or do laundry.
or do laundry.
You would have had it made.
So
Okay.
And
what brought you to California?
a car.
Yes, on Route 66.
You did ride Route 66.
I did alone. I left my wife, my son Lance, and my daughter Lynn, and I drove out here. I had my mother and sister were living here,
Mm-hmm.
and as soon as I got out of the car and walked around California, I said,
This is my place.
"This is my place." So I stayed. I went back. I can't remember now. You know when
Which
you hit
is
it,
Michigan.
Detroit, Michigan.
Yep.
When I think back, I said, we got to move, Joyce. Well, we had a chance I was going to be sent to Chicago to work for Sara Lee Bakery. And I said, honey, what do you want to do? Chicago, California. She says, are you kidding me? California. Whatever I did, I said, honey, what do you think? She says, I'm right behind you. That's
Mhm.
what I love about her.
Right.
She is right behind me all the time. But she is an angel. I love her. 75 years I've known her, 70 years married. This May. Sorry, honey. May 14th, 70 years.
Wow.
So
That's amazing.
it's been a beautiful ride with a beautiful lady.
So when you got here, what was your first job?
My first job was when I first got here, I left Sara Lee Baking Company.
You had no job, right?
No, when I came out here, I had no job. But I always had mom saying, I know
You'll
you'll
be
do
fine.
it. Yeah, we'll be fine. So anyway, it was some kind of company that I thought sold Sara Lee, but it was a little company that said, we'll give you a car, go out and drive, and you're on your own. And it was terrible pay, terrible everything. So I went to work for Builder's Emporium, side job. I got a job with Langendorf Cake,
That's the one I was thinking.
Langendorf bread
Yeah,
and cake,
yeah.
and did well. But I always thought something was missing. Something was missing. So in my late life, after Lance was born, my daughter was born, I went to LA Trade Tech.
Yep.
Learned sign painting, bought a shop, and God bless him, this guy went to LA Trade Tech, worked for me, and him and I have been like this in the sign business. And actually, he became, in my mind and a lot of other sign shops, a handful of the best journeyman sign painters in California. And he stuck with me, and we did well. Everybody wanted him, to the point where there was a bigger sign company that wanted him so bad that he said, I can't leave my dad. You'll have to buy my dad and his company to get me. It's the truth. And he did.
Wow, I never knew that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bought my company, got Lance as a journeyman, took me along, worked part-time. So that was my retirement. So it was great. It's been a great ride. And he's taken me with him on his ride as I took him with me on my little ride till he was.
So what
At that sign shop
yeah.
that he came over and then eventually a few years later, I left and started setwear. So he
Right.
stayed at that shop and I was doing setwear.
Nice.
So it's kind of
So
interesting.
so what took you, because I've seen paintings at the house, I've seen, you've done some of these
Oh,
acrylics and watercolors and different like
oils. Yeah.
oils. So
That's a good
was
question.
that part of the sign business, or
No.
you just
Nothing to do with it. I always had a little talent, I think.
yeah.
My sisters did too, drawing wise. My sister Dee and my sister Millie all had a little talent. So I thought, well, you know what? I'm going to go to Standard Brands. It was a store, like a hardware store. Bought some oil paints and brushes and stuff and thought I'd try to paint. And by golly, when I did a few, Joyce said, those are great. So I kept on painting. And I don't know, 100 paintings.
Oh yeah, the house is full of paintings.
My house looks like an art museum. But
I
going
wouldn't
back,
give yourself that much credit.
oh no, I do. I was great. But it's amazing, and
Yeah.
I know he has the talent, but he doesn't have time to pick up an.
I might do it one day, but we used to mow the lawn together. I mean, we hung out so much together that when the family went to Disneyland, I'm a young guy. Family goes to Disneyland, I'd stay home with him and mow the lawn.
I'd be with you guys.
Wrench the
It's
engine.
true.
You know, we did stuff
Disney.
together, and that's. But the cool thing is, when I grew up, dinner was on the table every night. We all sat together as a family. There was 4 kids and my mom and dad. Dinner every night, and you can't buy that. We actually did little videos with cousins. We had 65 aunts, uncles, and cousins all in the West San Fernando Valley, and
There's
every
more
weekend
of them now.
we'd hang out and do all that stuff. People kind of grow apart, but we went into the sign business. We went into then I started another sign business, and then he worked with me there, worked at Setware with me. And now he's still coming to this warehouse when he's not golfing and helping us guys out here. So,
But I go back a little bit. You just said, because I think that's a lost art, and I'll call it an art in our country. I ride up Sinaloa every night going to my house, and there's one home that I see, and I see the lights on in the kitchen, dining room area, and I see the whole family around the table.
that's great.
And I've been tempted to ride up and knock on their door and just say, hey, I'm not a stalker, but I can see every night as I go through, you've got the whole family around the table.
You see,
And
that.
you keep that up because that's worth something. Because you don't see that as much anymore. There's such a rat race for people. And now you generally have to have both parents working to afford today. But to go back to those days and remember that, and then on the weekends or on the evenings having people over at the house and the cousins. And
Right.
It's a community.
It's totally community. And we had that our whole life. And the thing that I like is then Laura and I had our kids, and we had dinner every night. My kids, my daughter Lauren and her husband Mark, and their 2 daughters, Olivia and Stella, and Courtney and Lance, and Luca and Lance, they all have dinner. But the cool thing is my parents have great grandkids that want to see Nani and Poppy.
Well,
So,
I think even
that's,
better than that is those grandkids are getting to the age,
Right.
the great grandkids, that they'll remember their great grandfather and mother.
well,
And
you
that's
guys,
rare.
you guys just brought up what I wanted to talk
Yeah.
about, and I don't have to now, but he just said it.
no, say it.
No, our family to his family, and it's going on and on. It's all about fam. Wake up, Josh. Are you still there?
I'm still here. I'm just enjoying the
God
conversation.
damn it. Pay attention
damn
over here. You have a good shot of me?
I do. It's great. You look
Get
amazing.
it. There we go.
Like a model.
No, leave
Is
it
this
right
side
there for
better?
a minute.
You don't even have a bad side, George.
Oh,
They're all pretty
I do have
terrible,
a
but-
bad side. Ask my wife. Anyway, yeah, you guys are talking about family, which I think is so important. I know your family, your wife's family, great. I know his family. Josh,
We know Josh's mom. And
I know you have a lot of girlfriends, and you probably have a few kids here and there, but that's not family, Josh.
It's not family.
It's not called family.
Those kids are well taken care of by
I know.
someone. I don't know
I
who,
know
but someone.
Actually, Josh just went, speaking of family, they did a family vacation to Iceland. Once in a lifetime kind of thing to go do. And
First
they all did
time.
it together.
First time together in 10 years.
Wow.
It's
Really?
great. Yeah.
10
On
years?
a vacation. Yeah.
Wow.
I knew what kind of guy he was because he talks about his dad, his grandpa, and his family. And I love that about him, love about you, and of course, my hero.
Well, Josh is so sage in his advice. Today,
Yeah.
this 20, how old are you?
28 years
Put up a
Yo,
post
old.
about sage advice.
I did.
I mean, this man, he's learning it.
you
I'm
know what's
learning it.
cool about our group? And Lance said it in his video.
Where
the
is
other day.
Lance?
He had a thing that he had to do, but he
I
said
thought
it
he
the
might
other
show
day.
up.
He said, here we are. We did a toast in the kitchen in Arizona. And he said, what he loved about it is there was guys in their 20s to 60s. All of us, our group of 10, 12 riders hanging out, and we all love to hang out with each other. And seeing in this room here, so 28,
58.
50s, 65, 92, And George can hang out with any one of these guys anywhere, and even the younger ones, even Lance's guys, and they all want to do it. So age is nothing when you're cool.
It's true.
Well, who
True.
says we're cool? But I will tell you, you can get a 2LaneLIVE boating t-shirt at 2lanelife.com.
Yeah.
Did somebody walk in?
Let me see.
Yeah.
I told Paul to lock the door.
It might be Paul.
It might be Paulie.
Who's Polly?
Paul.
Oh,
Paulie, you know, it's Paulie.
I have
Yeah.
another question for you.
okay.
You got to be in front of a
I
mic.
hope you have a few more.
George,
for him.
how did you become so strikingly handsome?
Because, I used to box a little.
Yes.
And I was so pretty, I did
Yeah.
not want to be hit.
Gotcha.
So I fought defensively and built up a big record. 8 of them were Girl Scouts, but it doesn't matter. The record is a record.
That's right.
Yeah.
Back then there wasn't, I'll
Back then
stay away from that. Never mind.
No,
But-
it was that's a good question. Yeah. How do I keep my pretty face? Is it still pretty? No.
Yeah,
But
that's
think
great.
about this. So your roots. Talk a little bit about maybe your parents.
My parents. All right. Yeah, I'd love to. I didn't know my dad long. I got drafted when I was 18,
Mm-hmm.
went in the Army when I was 19. So I missed my dad 2 years while I was gone.
Yep.
Came back after the Korean War was. I didn't go overseas, but here's a nice story. I was in line. There was 2 lines. This line I was in was getting shots to go to Korea. This line was going to Europe. A captain or somebody came out and shut the door and said, "Go back to your barracks." And we thought, what's going on? Went back to the barracks, and after a while, we found out that Eisenhower signed the armistice. So I
Yep.
never had to go,
That's a good
which is
thing.
a
That's a
God
good
blessing.
thing.
Yeah.
Because
Very good
Galen
thing.
and Josh would be sitting here with Jaime Camille doing a 2-lane life.
Jaime Camille. Yeah. Anyway, thanks for bringing up those. I'm forgetting a lot of things, but you're bringing up the questions that I love to think about.
Let me ask you this, George, because
Yeah.
I've asked my grandpa this 100 times, mostly because I always forget. What was your first car?
My first car was, I'll tell you what, a 1939 Ford.
Was it a classic back then? Or
No,
was it brand new?
It was a piece of shit that when I went to pick up my girlfriend,
Uh-huh.
it dripped oil, and I had to park 2 houses down because her dad would
Nice.
kill me if I put oil in the street.
How much was a 39 Ford back in the day?
Oh my God. $1? I don't know. I think
Yeah.
it was like,
$1,500.
I was going to say 1,000.
Yeah.
It was given to me.
Okay.
My brother owned it, and
All
I got
right.
hand-me-downs. Because when he handed me down the car, I was wearing his shoes that he was through with too. So
So how many brothers and sisters do you have?
thank you. I have 4 sisters,
Mm-hmm.
1 brother. My brother's gone. 3 of my sisters are gone. I have 1 baby sister left, a baby sister, my sister D, 82 years old.
She's a character.
She's a
Yeah.
character. She's a tough ass gal. She golfs. She plays pickleball. She does everything. She refuses, like me, to get old.
Right.
Well, you had a family of fighters. If someone looked at you guys wrong, you were fist fighting. Even the girls, they wouldn't let anything
What
go
the hell's
down.
wrong with you?
You
were angry?
my dad was a wrestler.
Yeah.
He was a very tough guy, but believe it or not, he was the mild one. It was my mother that says, if somebody hits you in the face, you hit him harder.
That's what my dad would say.
Yeah, isn't that something? So my mother was the tough guy, and my dad was a sweetheart, but a strong man. And he reminds me a lot of my dad.
Mm-hmm.
When I was 13, my brother was 15. My dad would come home from work, and he was at 50 something. And we tried to jump on him and pin him down after a day's work, and we couldn't.
Right.
So a lot of strength there.
A lot of fun.
A lot of fun, a lot of strength. And this guy has his strength. And luckily, I had good looks. I'm sorry, Lance. And my wife says to Lance, please shave that before I die. And he says, Mom, I would, but I'm afraid you'll die. So
she doesn't.
she doesn't die and he won't shave. And What about your family? Come on. You come from a lot of people, don't you?
Get someone pass me a lighter. I'm
Your
out here,
people.
over here waving my arms.
I thought you
You're
were
gonna
telling
get
me to
up.
shut up.
No, I would never, George. Thank you.
Is
What?
this being taped right now?
Oh,
Oh, we're
No.
taping it.
You're live.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
We're
live,
live.
but it's being taped.
No, if you want to know my family, I
Yeah.
was adopted, and I was adopted into an incredibly beautiful family.
Big fan.
That took
I
care
know
of
this.
me.
Yes.
So I never felt different or what have you, but I remember like my first, maybe I was 7, maybe 6, and I woke up Christmas morning. I get downstairs, and there's 2 pairs of boxing gloves that Santa left us. One big one for my father's hands, and one small pair for me. And I remember he was a boxer just like you were at his high school in Blackfoot, Idaho. And so he would teach me, and he'd get on his knees and then just kind of jab at me, right? And then so he was teaching me how to set up a little bit. My grandmother on my mom's side and grandfather were there one day. So I decided I'm going to showcase my boxing prowess in front of them. So I said, Dad, get on your knees and we're going to go at it.
Okay.
Well, I had a loose tooth. He saw me coming at him. So he just went a straight jab right into the bottom and knocked my tooth out. I ran into the bathroom crying, spit the tooth out. And my grandmother was so upset with him on my mom's side.
Oh,
But from that point on, when I got a loose tooth, I'd punch myself in the face
Oh,
with a boxing
geez.
glove.
Well, that reminds
So that
me.
was a good life lesson, right?
Yeah. They're
So
good, all good lessons.
We got a good comment you'll like, George. Geodude Moto says, I want to be like George when I'm his age. He's the goal, everyone. And
Wow.
everyone else is agreeing. They love you. They love
Wow.
you, Sonny.
That's very nice. Almost want to makes me cry, but tough guys don't cry, do they?
Yeah, they do.
They
At
can.
92.
I tell you what, I'm very sentimental when I see things, you know. I get sentimental when I think of what he's done his life. The beautiful lady he married,
Yep.
thank God, because she's
Miss
an
Laura.
angel. Laura.
Yep.
He was hanging out with that one dude, Jeff, a little too much, right?
Jeff,
You were worried about that?
Where is McPhee?
never worried, but old McPhee, one of my all-time favorite guys. If I was ever in a fight, I'd want Galen, Lance, you, and Jeff McPhee right next to me.
That's good.
That'd be great.
yeah.
I think McPhee and I could tear some.
It'd be a winning
stuff
combo
up.
right
All right.
there.
Leslie Werner says, OMG, I'm starting the George fan club.
Jeez.
And Riding with Yogurt says, I want to be George right now.
Who said that?
Shannon from
Shannon.
Riding with Yogurt.
I bet he
Wow.
would beat Clint Eastwood's ass.
Thank you.
We should set up
Shan-
one of those celebrity fights.
What's up?
McPhee.
Oh,
We're on live with George Coury,
No way, the spider.
the
The
spider.
spider.
So we thought we'd call you because we're wondering if we could get a Stromboli.
Yeah, there.
Listen, man, there's got to be Cavarettas knows where the Strombolis are, bro.
But
You
what
just gotta
about
go
the
down
knife to cut that thing?
Yeah.
Oh, the sword. Yeah, out here, that's the gaucho knife. But let's just say, someone like George doesn't need that. Man, that guy is a weapon. George Coury
oh,
is a bad dude. All right. And one night we were just sitting there minding our own business in front of the house on Cabello Street, right?
Capistrano.
And some hot rod cargo was coming down the road, and George, yelled at him to slow down, and they hit the brakes. Well, he walked out there and he walked up to the driver and he looked in there and he pointed his finger. He's like, you're driving too fast. Slow down. And the car piled out and George started the fight. Okay. I just know that there was so much clacking going on. The chicks got involved. Lynn came out and was bashing heads. But I think we were victorious, weren't we, George?
Well,
Yes.
if you weren't there, it wouldn't have been.
It wouldn't have been. It was good. There was definitely some guys were licking their wounds as they drove off.
But you know what was good about those fights, Jeff? No knives, no guns, just knuckles.
No, I always ask guys. That's the problem with the world. There's no fist fighting anymore. I
Yeah.
mean, you can't touch anybody, you get sued. But back in our day, you know, everything got handled, and then you went on.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Hey,
Out of there.
Good
hey,
time.
Jeff.
Yes, sir.
What's out? That's a fond memory. What's another fond memory that you have of Mr. George Coury?
Oh my God!
Oh,
When I
geez.
was a young buck, I was hanging out at Artco signs. You know, I mean, I was a Western boy. I was a country bumpkin compared to these guys. And there was a real character that kind of ran around like a knucklehead. Kent Willard was his name, and I'm telling you, he was a goofball. There was a lot of card playing. Those were some of the best times of my life. There was pranking going on. There was, Willard had a bunch of disposable income. So I think one time he paid me like $20 to jog around the block in my underwear. Maybe, put some, there was just some really crazy, hey, I'll give you $20 if you'll let me drop this giant book on Bill Shear's head. And,
So in the day, $20 was like what? $5,000,
Yeah.
Well, by the end of the day, you'd get $100, you know.
I
Well,
mean,
I'm
$20
saying.
was definitely a case of beer.
He had me do shots of a fifth of whiskey, and every shot was $20. Well, I
You
got
know what?
lit, and Jeff had to
Oh.
come over and rescue me in my house.
Well, I called the check on him, and I called Laura, and I'm like, hey, how's Lance? And she's like, I don't care anything about him. He's in the bathroom, and he's like, I'm like, what do you mean he's in the bathroom? Well, he's been throwing up in there, and I don't care if he even dies, And I'm like, are you serious? And she was so mad. I ran over there, and my bro was just totally blown out on the floor. He'd just been hurling for hours. His wife was so mad at him. She wanted to crack his head with a ball bat.
You sound like a California guy, hurling and like all these totally surfing, dude.
My 20s, I grew, I was hanging with the Courys, and Lance's brother Devin was a surf cat, a Val. And so I kind of got my surfer groove lingo, and Lance and I were always inventing lingo. We were probably some of the, inventors of most of the current cool lingo. We just were way ahead of our time.
I think that's true. And I've also admired your artwork that the two of you guys send to each other.
Yeah, there was another cool thing about Artco. Everyone was always drawing something.
You're right.
And it was really great. We were all kind of had our own version of cartooning, and so we would draw the other dudes, and there was phallic symbols being drawn, and back in those days it was cool. Now all of a sudden everyone gets so bent out of shape if somebody draws a dick. I mean, come on, people.
It's all art. Isn't it all art?
It's all art, and we still do it. So everyone that's listening out there, Jeff McPhee is the guy that came out here, and we put him on a Harley, and he rode the Harley through the parking lot back and forth. He's our buddy from Philadelphia. I've known him for 42 years now. So
used to run rivers together.
Yeah, we were river guides and
a lot of fun.
Well,
guy.
McPhee, we love you, and if you want to,
miss you guys.
If you want to jump on YouTube and watch the live, you'll see the infamous George Coury.
Spider. Let me just real quickly tell you how he got the nickname Spider, at least from my point of view. George's hair was, thinning back in the day when he was like, he was young and he was like 65, I mean, we were kids, and he would get all worked up and sweaty, and the hairs would like hang off of each side of his head like spider legs. And I think Kent Willard drew you on the chalkboard and was like, Spider. Look at this guy. He looks like a spider with his little wispy hairs coming out. George, you're an inspiration to everybody and anyone around you. And my dad's going to be 90 this summer. And he's not anywhere near, as active as you are. And so it gives great hope to guys like us. We're in our 60s, and yes, we're going to make it to 90, man. You know, it's
Wow.
very, very likely we could get there, and hopefully we're as healthy and as loving and generous as you are to all the people that you're around. So, hey,
Come
man,
on, stop
I
it.
miss you, brother. I miss you.
You
Oh.
got to come back out here when you can fly, man.
And that's pretty messed up to put that out there on the universe, because George told me he was named Spider because of the gang affiliation he had. And he was like the Black
Right.
Widow. He could just zap you
Oh,
with one
sure.
little pinch and you're knocked out.
He's one guy that would have never feared a biker dude. You know, like, you know, he would have just got out of his car, got a hammer out of the trunk, and just went over and pummeled anyone.
oh, he remembers a story. Jeff, you remember a story.
I do, man. The hammer and the hammer.
George, you want to say anything to Jeff before we leave?
I love you, Jeff, and thank you for all the nice things you've said. Wow. Bring back memories, my son.
We go way back.
Yeah.
You know, when I first met your crazy sons, you know, I knew it was I was meant to be in that family and hanging out with you guys, and you know, we had some good times. It's great to chat with the memories, and I can't wait to do it again. So you guys have a good show, and I will talk to you again soon, bro.
Thank you,
All right.
Jeff.
Much
Thank
love
you
to
for
you
the
and the
Love you,
family.
Jeff.
Give everyone a hug.
Wow,
All
wow.
right,
See
will
what I
do.
mean?
All right.
Take care.
Yep. Bye.
So two
Another
things.
Two things.
One, we have the repeated question, George, of what's the secret? What's the secret to staying young?
You know, that's a
And,
good
you
question.
know.
What can I say? Do everything in moderation. Really, and I mean this, a good woman behind a good man, or he wouldn't be a good man. I'm saying that with this guy's wife, who I think is a precious lady.
She's your daughter.
She is my daughter-in-law, but my daughter. I love my two daughters up in Santa Barbara, Dawn and Lynn. They're two precious people to me. Just beautiful people. Everybody here is a beautiful person to me. They don't let me get old. So it's not what I do, it's what they don't let me do.
Good man.
They don't let me, you guys do not let me get old.
So
And I appreciate that. And I have to say one thing. I'm still golfing. Can I put a thing out to Jeff?
absolutely.
I have a nephew, Jeff. He's a tough, big Scot. And I don't give a shit about Scots, but this one I love. He can take a telephone pole and throw it across the street. But anyway, he's my golf partner. Picks me up every Tuesday, drives me to the golf course, carries me to the golf pro house, carries me to the tee box,
Ties your shoes.
ties my shoes. I don't wear shoes anymore. I wear Skechers. Sorry.
Yeah, the slip-ins.
And takes me home. So thank you, Jeff. Jeff,
Cheers to Jeff.
thanks
to
for
Jeff.
golfing with me.
Here's the Jeff.
Well, and I think that's part of it. You know,
Very part.
we talk about being active, and I think what I see as an active person. You're golfing, you're here at the shop working, you're walking around, you're lifting boxes.
Yeah.
And I think not only are you blessed with good genes, but I also think you guys don't eat like, you know, chicken and rice every day. You guys, you eat good food, and
We did most of our life.
yeah,
And they like to cook.
and they like to
Yeah,
cook.
yeah.
But I think that activity for you is pretty important, both you and Joyce.
Yes.
So Laura asked a question. My wife, she asked, tell them about the story of the cold cream and the purse and what would happen in a fight.
Well, that brings my wife into
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's a good story.
it. Just
So you would get in
kind
a
of
fight,
faded into my mind. Well, we used to get in little fights. Again, no knives,
not
no guns. Just
not him and her.
no,
You used to fight Joyce?
never, because she probably kicked my ass.
So you're out at a bar and
No,
some
we were at
guy-
a wedding. We walked into a wedding that we shouldn't have been there, but it was right next door, and I thought we were invited. And somebody that looked like Rocky Marciano come up to me and said, "What are you doing here?" I said, "Who are you?" Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Remember that?
Yep.
Pretty soon we start swinging, and he somehow, because he was 80 pounds bigger than me, had me down on the ground. And I saw my wife. She always carried a jar of cold cream in her purse.
Does anyone know what cold cream is?
Cold cream is like a balm for your hands. Anyway,
heavy
I saw
lotion.
Joyce swinging her purse, hit the guy, Rocky Marciano, in the head. He fell off of me, and I'm hoping he thought I hit him. But there's my wife. There's Joyce. Again, she was 7 months pregnant at one time. 7 months pregnant. Was it with you or Lynn? I don't know. 5 guys walk out of a bar, and they made a remark to her, and it ticked me off because I had a temper like Galen.
What do you?
And I ran into the guys because I was mad as hell. That guy got on top of me. I must have been a weak bastard. Everybody was on top of me. But I left a mark on him. Anyway, it was Joyce again who did something to him, and he fell off of me. So
every
Yeah.
night when you went out, you would say, Joyce, do you have the cold cream in the purse?
Right, because we might get in a
She-
tough. You know,
one thing about her, she was always right next to me, and I always told her, don't stand so close to me if I'm in an argument, because I might go crazy and I want to hit you. Please don't be near me. But she always was.
oh, her mom, Nanny,
Oh.
Nanny and mom, they were tough because when we would be playing in the street, and if there was older guys that would come up and mess with us or take our bike, Nanny would be chasing them down the street with a rake,
Yeah.
and they'd run.
Yeah.
You know,
But isn't this fun? We're
Yeah.
just having a couple cigars.
This is
talking
what
about
keeps me
life,
young.
You know,
Josh, thank you for, I have to give him the Zeppelin or air balloon he
Yeah.
has over getting these pictures, or what do you call them now?
drone,
the
Drone.
But I like the
Zeppelin.
Zeppelin. That's
the
great.
balloon, the blimp.
the blimp,
The
He
blimp.
does a great job, and I
Thank
really
you, George.
love what he does. And when he does something I don't like, I tell him, he says, thanks, George. Fuck you, get out.
So, but he loves your voices on crank calls.
Oh,
yeah.
Can you do one?
He
I
needs a call.
I will
I'll
do one
tell you
eventually.
what.
I need a call for that.
Oh, good.
But what I will say, my number 2 thing that came up in the chat, everyone here seems to think that we need a new 2LaneLIVE shirt with George on it,
Oh,
but
let's
call it
do
Spider, and you holding a shotgun with your spider hair hanging
Let's
out.
do it.
People
Oh,
dig it.
boy.
Perfect.
I
We'll
don't.
give you $1 t-shirt.
I really can't get what's going on. I just can't believe what's going on.
People like
We'll
you.
give $1.
I will say,
t-shirt.
George, you have more viewers tuning into this chat than we did with our last celebrity. I'm serious. I'm
Yes.
not even joking.
100%.
Do me a favor. Call Joyce and tell her.
that Rocky Marciano's here.
Tell her I'm in trouble. She'll be right here.
She'll be here with the cold cream.
She is. I'll tell
I
you.
better watch out for
And
that.
another lady in my life who I just have to say something. His daughter Lauren. For some reason, that girl is such a kick-ass lady. I can't say enough about her. I love her, and I can't stop at that. Your son Lance. Look what he's done.
You got Mark, Lauren, Courtney, and Lance, and they're all good people, and they all love to hang out with you.
But
Everybody
here's what you did really messed up.
good.
I'm just going to tell you this.
I can't be perfect. Come on.
You have created this nucleus of family around you, and no one wants to move more than 2 miles away from you. So is it Kool-Aid that you were feeding the family? What, like, it's a cult-like thing.
If there was a drug I could give them all to move further away, I would do it. Let me get old and come on.
Well, when I grew up,
Elder abuse.
the main thing that he always said when we grew up, never lie, have a good handshake, be honorable, and don't fuck with me.
My mother taught me that.
So we do have another couple special people in the chat. We got Don tuning in.
Don Corey.
We also
Diamond.
have Stella who says, I think y'all should auction off a happy hour with George. I
Oh,
think we
good
could
one,
raise-
Stella.
Is that Stella? My
Yeah.
Stella?
Your
That's
little
it.
Our
Stella.
Stella.
All
That's
right.
another
Next
girl.
Thursday, we're doing a happy hour. $100,000 a ticket.
You know what we might have to
We'd sell
do?
a few.
I'll
That's
buy
a,
them all. It's on me.
a happy hour, George, would be great. But another thing that just came to my mind, because I know that the viewers out there love family. We have family. We should just get a bleacher in here and have
stacked
all of
with
our family have Teresa and get Justin and just get everyone in here and talk about it. You guys will see just so, in this day and age, a lot of really cool and good people.
But here's one of the things I need to. It's a bone I need to pick with you.
With me.
Yes,
Be careful because I had a few drinks.
I know, but I want to understand this. Do you have your wallet with you?
My wallet.
Yes.
Yes.
Can I see
We're
your credit
in
card?
year 2
Okay.
of 2LaneLIVE.
Yeah.
We have a warehouse that we're running 2LaneLIVE out of Setware. Show the viewers what he tried to derail us with. Show them that note.
I was going to try and bring that up
Wait,
earlier
I
because
I
someone
have
did
no clue
say
what you're talking about.
someone
Oh,
did say
really?
elder abuse earlier.
Say that again.
Someone
You don't
earlier
have any
mentioned
more.
elder abuse. Do you remember that story? Remember what you tried to lock us up for?
Yeah, that's
No.
what I'm saying.
You don't
this
remember?
is the note I want to see.
Oh, I don't.
You got to have that note. Maybe it's in your other wallet.
Oh, the cops.
We have a cop.
Yeah.
There were the cops.
We have a cop. Sanchez, I think, was the last name.
The police
Wonderful
department was
guy.
here.
Is that making you nervous?
No, I'm just trying to get
You
the.
have all
Let's see if I.
Laura's credit cards.
Yes.
Wait, there's my credit card. What? the-
Josh's credit card.
And he doesn't lie. You told him not to lie, and
You
he's
know what?
lying.
Well, it's,
Folks
it's
out
not
there-
here.
All right. Well, tell the rest of the story. So we have a motor cop here, comes in, says hello, wants to have a chat, and
He bought
George
some gloves.
sees him. He bought some gloves, and George sees him. And what happens next?
So my dad, being the prankster and the guy that likes to have fun, he walks up to the cop and walks by him slowly and hands him a piece of paper. And on that paper, it said, "Please help, senior abuse."
He's
Oh.
being held captive.
I remember
He tried
that.
to shut 2LaneLIVE down. Like, what do you like? That's my bone I need to pick with
I
you.
did that to see what the reaction I would get from this cop.
Oh, well, he put us in handcuffs.
Did he?
Yes.
That was my point. He did? Good. Good. I thought that would be funny.
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
I have no clue what would happen if I did that, but I wanted to see the reaction. Yeah. And if this show doesn't end within 8 minutes, I'm probably going to fall off this chair.
No, you won't.
I
No,
don't
I'm
think
just
so.
So
I'm
what
just-
are we doing tonight after the show?
Well, I'm going home because I think Joyce is horny.
George, we're going
You
to
got
dinner.
to skip dinner, George.
What did Mike say here?
I hear you on that, though.
What'd Mike say?
Mike and Nary said, "I'd love to see Lance and Gaylan ride to Sturgis on Dynas and those Thrasher guys on Baggers. That would be a good episode.
No.
Oh, we
we
got
are-
some cool stuff
We are
planned for
doing
this Sturgis.
something different this year.
Yeah.
Sturgis is coming up. Right?
That being
Yeah.
said, someone also said you guys need to bring George to Sturgis and put him in a sidecar.
George, would you ride on the back of a bike?
Does that hold a cadaver? I don't know. What kind of stuff do you have?
You'd have to be on my bike because this guy has to pack too much shit.
I think if
Yeah.
we wrapped you in a blanket and use some tie downs,
Right.
you'd be.
How
you know,
about, is it weekend at Bernie's?
Yeah.
We just put you on the back of the bike and go.
What I want to do is just lay across Laura's lap and have her
Yeah.
hold it.
Hold you like
I love that girl.
A little baby.
Oh,
so. All this talk and all the stuff that you're hearing right now, this is how we are in real life with the families, and this is real. This isn't. So my son Lance and my daughter Lauren and the in-laws Courtney and Mark, they hear this. That's why everyone wants them at their house for dinner, because it always makes for fun.
oh, this
Well,
is too
What
much.
does Matt say?
Okay. Matt Webb said, this is a legend story of George. I'm pretty sure it's true. Said, when George was born, he drove his mom home from the hospital. Love this guy. Old school grit.
Wait, I want to hear this.
It's like a
What's the
with the beard, with the
Yeah.
fist in the beard. What's his name?
Fist in the beard?
no, the guy that I know
I
because you
should
put
know
it
this.
up on my birthday post last year or the year
Fist in a
before.
beard.
There's
The man of the
there's
world.
the actor. No, not him. There's an actor that I should know. It's a iconic American actor known. Is it Chuck? I'm totally blanking. If it comes
Oh,
to
Chuck
mind,
Norris?
yes, Chuck Norris.
Yeah.
That's
Chuck
all the
Norris.
Chuck
Yeah,
Norris
that's the Chuck
jokes.
Norris.
That's like a Chuck Norris joke.
Yes.
I was
Right.
thinking the guy that's
There it
like
is.
the
Thank you,
most
Shags.
wonderful man on the
The most interesting man
yeah,
alive.
the most.
That is
interesting
also
man.
George.
From
That's what I-
Chuck Norris?
No, there's two different commercials. Chuck Norris, it's always about what he was kind of saying in third person.
And this is a story that sticks in my head. When he did work for Langendorf, he would come home in the bakery truck and pull up in front and then go in and have lunch. And my brother and I would go jump in the truck and put the shirts on and act like we were bakery guys. And I remember the one thing, hey, we smell like a real dad.
But talk about Langendorf just a minute, because that's another thing that we just don't see anymore. There's Schwann still does it, but Langendorf was, you would deliver.
It was cakes and bread delivering to supermarkets.
Like Hostess cakes.
Yeah, that type of thing. And
Go ahead.
it was a job that I had a family and I had to do a job.
It wasn't house to house. It was It was
market to market.
Got it.
Yeah, market to market.
George, there's a 6-year-old boy out there named Santiago, and today is his birthday. Do you want to give him a shout out?
Santiago, are you kidding? Really?
6 years old.
I'm serious.
Is he on? Can you see me?
He might be able to see right now.
Santiago, happy birthday, kid. You're on your way.
That's right.
There you
Boom.
go.
Wow.
You see how crazy this is?
It's a crazy thing. I thank you guys for making me be alive.
Well, we thank you, but we also thank the people that are tuning in, because it's fun to. This is why we do it this way. Is we get comments from people. We're live.
It's so new to me.
Yeah.
Are we still on?
Oh, yeah.
We're still on.
Family. Everybody here is family. That's why I love everybody here. Family.
True that.
Right.
Nothing better.
Nothing better.
George, your glass is looking a little bit empty right now.
My
Wow.
glasses?
Your glass.
Your glass.
I filled it. You want a little more?
Fill this up and I'll look through this. I don't know.
Hey, can I ask you
Little
one thing
splash.
before we're going to end here in a little bit? But so this is going to live on forever. So do you want to tell your grandkids and your great grandkids and their great grandkids, your great great grandkids?
Wow.
Do you want to say something to them? Is it family? Is that what it's all about?
Definitely family, and learn from your dad, Lance, my grandson, his wife, Courtney, who's a great mama. Love Courtney. And all their kids, they're all learning this. They're all growing up with this family. And I'll tell you what, there's a lot of families out there. I know many families that know what I'm talking about. Your family, your family, your family. All the families out there always think family. Even if you have a bad seed in the family, he meant to be good. And
Or she did.
or she.
Yeah.
Whatever.
He, thou, thee, thou.
No, but other families may have a bad seed that could be a female as well.
I had a son that we lost through drugs. So think about that. It's hard to live with, but about every family might have that problem. You'll live through it.
Put that back up. But these guys are real life goals for so many people. Thanks, Jeffrey.
Yeah.
There is also a couple more Chuck Norris jokes.
Yeah. let's do it.
Rattlesnakes die when they're bitten by George.
Jesus. Oh,
No, there's another one. The onions.
When George slices onions, the onions cry.
I can't believe it. Are we still on?
Josh,
Yes.
you need a little more.
We're
You're
on
good.
until we
I'm good,
close it.
thank you.
Wow. You know what? This is something that never happened in my life before. Talking, and I never knew we were always on.
That's funny. How cool is it that George gave birth to his last employer?
George didn't give birth.
His wife did. But I know
Casper.
what he's saying.
All right, this one's not a joke, but the last comment for now. Geodude says, yes, great live today, boys. Thank you, George, for being a great man and father and grandfather.
I'm going to cry.
Go ahead.
You should.
This is crazy.
George doesn't do, here's one more. George doesn't do push-ups. He pushes the earth down.
But I have
Is that-
to, on that one.
Yeah.
That's true, because you were talking earlier about 4:00
Mhm.
in the summertime. Him and Joyce still to this day get in the pool, float around, have a cocktail, go out and smoke a cigar.
Right?
So that's also part of living,
It is.
right? You're not sitting in the house cooped up, not knowing what to do.
No.
You guys have a choice, and you make a choice consciously to go out and enjoy each other's company and still live life.
Totally.
That's part of the longevity, right?
Now we do have one more question before you take your
Wait,
next
I like
drink.
that though. That comment before
What
you
was
put the
that?
question. It said, George,
Pleasure
pleasure watching. Go ahead, read it. No.
pleasure watching this with you, George. You're a diamond. Thank you.
Oh, Simon
Jesus.
from the
That's
UK.
from
That's-
UK. The UK.
Simon, we love that you're here every week.
So
My
this
God.
one from
Uh-oh.
Laura Coury. Ask
Oh.
George about what he told Lance before I walked down the aisle on our wedding day.
That's a good one.
Can I answer that?
Yes.
Laura, please. I was thinking of you, honey. I was thinking of you. I didn't want you to get trapped into this guy. Oh, he's my hero, but oh, Laura, I'm sorry, Laura.
So what did you say to me before we went out on the aisle?
I think if I can remember, I said something like, "You don't have to do this."
He gave me an out if I needed it. He
Think-
loved Laura.
My point was this: being married is a very large
It's a big
commitment.
choice.
Commitment. Are you sure you know what you're doing to this beautiful girl?
Because
That's
we
what
were
I-
young. We were very young.
Well, she was young. She was
She
15,
was young.
and
I
he's
love that.
36.
From the time I looked at her, listen, the second he said,
Hold on.
the minute he said, I wanted to meet Laura, I fell in love with her like my mother fell in love with my wife.
Right?
Really.
She's easy to fall in love with.
She very, very. And I love her dearly. Uh-oh, who's there?
I don't know.
Yeah, I was adopted by two moms fairly quickly when we all started hanging out. Teresa and Laura, that was easy.
Isn't that something?
Um,
What a nice
also,
thing to say.
This is the final
You're not
Chuck.
going to guess who's here,
Who's here?
but I'll say this. When you're married 42 years and you can look across the table and look at your wife and say, damn, she's hot. I know why I married her.
We did have a
Here,
hot
have a
mom
seat.
comment.
No, I want you to say, ask George a question. Come on. You already busted him up.
Oh, boy.
In the
You
meeting,
got me, Laura.
I
Here.
got you.
No, get in.
Here.
Bring that chair over
I'll
here.
just stand for a second.
No, just get right
Oh,
here.
there.
Here.
Hello.
Here.
Sit.
Hello,
Here.
Josh.
No, no.
Hi,
go
everyone.
Hello.
No, I'm totally cool
Okay.
right here.
Now,
Hello.
Laura,
Hi, George.
what was that thing she said?
what did you say on their wedding day before she walked
to
down
this
the aisle?
day, after 42 years, she's kind of wondering why you gave him advice not to marry her.
Because of her. Tell her.
Right. I didn't want any woman to ruin my son's life. Laura, you know what I meant.
I know. But tell them what you told them. Tell them what
He
you
did.
told
He
them.
just
Oh,
did.
Oh, I missed that.
He
Sorry.
just
And-
He
did.
was coming in.
Only because what my mother or dad or anybody would say to their child. You sure you know what you're doing? Marriage is a big commitment. Are you sure? Not.
I love you. Know,
I was sure
appreciate
about you. I wasn't sure he knew what he's doing because guys are assholes.
And his friend was Jeff.
Jeff.
So
Jeff
that's a
Nicky.
big, I understand what you're saying.
Well-
and this guy is his
Well-
friend too.
So I'll tell you, this is what I tell everybody when they're going to get married. And I made this quote a long time
I
ago.
told you, Bobby. He was asking. He said, "Lance, better tell this story."
So here's the thing that I tell everyone. And I was going to write a book and put it 100-page book, but have it on page 50 and everything else was blank
Do it.
because this is all you need to know. You must become one,
with a hat.
but you have to stay two because you can't take away who each other is.
Why did you separate from her?
That's the two.
That's
I
the two.
know, I get that, but
Become one.
Then
but
why'd
stay
you
two.
ask? Oh, I'll tell you what.
How fun
Family,
is this,
we're
huh?
I don't know. I'll have to watch it and think,
It's fun.
what a jerk.
No, this is great. And
I
this
don't
is
know.
what happens. I keep telling everyone that this is our real life. If all 5 of us were sitting at their house having dinner right now, this would be the same
It
conversation.
is.
For sure.
Nothing changes.
but
Yep.
but I do have to make this comment.
Yes.
We're smoking cigars,
Right.
and we're using derby covers as ashtrays. I thought your son made.
Derby, he does. We don't
So
have.
where are they?
Yeah,
We got left out.
he got one.
I used a very
I have
fancy
that.
I do have.
Dr. Pepper can.
Thank you, my grandson. Thank you. It's a treasure to me. Your mother's a treasure to me. And oh boy, I'm going to cry.
So what do you think when you've been at our 2 open houses, kind of cleaning and making sure things are right
Helping.
and this and that. So you've been there and experienced that. And then you experienced all the pictures of your grandsons. What do you think when you see what our group has created in this world?
Yeah, well, first word is unbelievable. I can't believe it. It's far beyond what I could think. There's other families that have the same great feeling. And thanks to all your great families out there, you've lost a few. You have fun with your few. I don't know. Words don't come to me because I'm ready to go, everybody.
No, you're not.
So
So,
my words don't come easy.
but isn't it interesting from 2LaneLIVE perspective? And you've been through the 5 years because you've been here at the warehouse to see the number of people that come through from different countries, from our country.
Oh, yeah.
And to see that happen and this thing evolve to something that is, it is community and it is family.
Everything's unbelievable to me. It's hard to believe what has happened, and they brought me with them. I love it. Kept me young, kept me alive.
You know why people like us do that? Because we all realize, because we come from families, that the family raised us, and you don't leave the family, and you got to take care of who raised you.
Well, the
You
good
know?
thing is all the young kids have that feeling of love, family.
This is a really good time for one more.
Put Mike and Nari's up, though.
I'm going to put up Matt's real quick because Matt said death once had a near George Coury experience.
Jesus. I do not believe.
Okay, look at this. Look at
This
this
one?
one. Last word of the day.
Lance's wife is hot.
She is. Wow.
Well, we're lucky too. I'm gonna say, luck. You have a great wife. She's my mother. I love her.
Yeah.
When we travel and we have Laura and Teresa, they're the best travelers. They don't complain. They have fun. I mean, they make it. It's not like, oh, this is they're fun. They like to have a good time.
Well, I look at it this way. They put up with you and your son.
Is
That's it.
your wife coming?
She is.
Kyle Snow says this is literally the best show ever and need more of the family members to come on.
Wow.
Aw.
I can't.
That's so
I can't.
sweet.
Can we approach a subject that I want to talk to you about?
Are we still on?
Yes. You pulled me aside. This was probably 3 months ago.
Uh-oh.
And you said, you're the son I never had. I didn't share that with Lance. Should we talk
I told
about
him.
that?
I told him to say it.
Well, actually, I was fucking with you.
What'd that say? What'd he say? What'd Matt say? Look at
He
this one.
said this has been the best live yet. Me and the guys at work have been laughing nonstop, or rolling nonstop with laughter. Much love from Bama.
Alabama.
Very
No.
cool. Very cool.
Thanks for coming in.
Oh, are you kidding? I wouldn't miss
Don't
it.
get up. It's not over.
You're not.
Oh,
You're
it's
not
not
done.
over?
Everyone
No.
loves you.
Good night, everybody.
Teresa will be right here. Hold on.
We're
second.
got to have Teresa in
Teresa's
here
sitting
too.
there.
So we're going
Teresa.
to have Teresa. This is a growing, we have a few more minutes we can do this. So we're going to wait for Teresa so she can get her pretty face in here as well.
And
How do I
then
look from this side, Josh?
And my wife
I
is
don't
hot.
want to say that,
She is
George.
hot.
I love everybody out there. And
You know what George is? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. George is, I always said you would have been the great Johnny Carson. You're a Johnny Carson. You're a good man. You have good values.
Wow.
You speak the truth. You are kind, loving. You tell the truth. To me, when I was growing up and watching Johnny Carson with my mom or dad, and that's who you remind me of. I give
Wow.
that to you as a compliment, or Johnny Carson reminds me of you, I should say. And also, I always said you could have been president.
I'd vote.
President or
Vote
Johnny
for
Carson.
Actually,
you
we're
go,
going to do a
folks.
vote for George shirt.
Hey,
I'm
look, our
wonderful.
presidents are older
I am.
now. You can be the
Yeah, there you
president.
go.
I
At
really didn't
92.
know I was this great. I love it.
Langendorf taught you well.
They did.
So if we make a George shirt, would you guys buy it?
I mean, I would buy that shirt. I'd
I'd
buy that
wear it.
shirt from a
I'd buy
brand I
one.
work for.
Yeah.
I'd buy one. Really, I'd buy one. How
Jeff,
much are they?
Galen called Jeff.
We
I
might
heard.
give you.
I was
Yeah.
listening to you.
Did you hear him,
George?
Oh yeah.
Maybe we'll give you one,
We can give
Wow.
him one.
and we'll give you
I have
$1
to say
a
one
shirt.
thing about these guys and his son. I worked for them a little bit, quite a bit. Never ever asked for a raise.
And we never gave him one.
And I was just going to say, maybe that's the reason I never got one. Never had to. Never had to. They take care of me. And my last thing I want to say is, I love this lady.
Aw, I
Love her
you.
daughter.
Mm. Love you.
I love my daughter Lynn and Dawn. And where are they? San
Hi,
Well,
Olivia.
Don says, I love you,
They're in
Dad. I
Sanford.
always wanted you for president.
Who said that?
Don.
Oh my God, Dawn.
What did Olivia say?
She
I
said,
can't believe people.
this is great. Tell him we love him.
I love it.
God.
We love you.
How far out is Teresa?
I don't know.
Because we got the door open on
That's a
Topanga.
lot. Okay.
She's here.
She's always
How many
saying,
more
"Doors
minutes,
open."
Josh?
Here.
That's up to you, George.
No, really.
You
Is it
still
kinda
have
ending?
liquor in your cup.
Yes, it's ending.
But
Yeah,
gonna
we're
get
we're,
Teresa on
we're
here,
wrapping
too.
up. We're gonna go
We're
get
gonna
some
get
dinner.
We're gonna let
I
Teresa
don't
talk
know how
about
this
how
stuff works.
crude
This-
you are to her.
How crude?
Yes. We have another bone to pick.
Oh my God. I love bones. I'd like to pick it first. And I'm sure Teresa has kicked your ass many times. Women have a good knack of kicking husbands' asses.
Yes, I do.
By the way, I was listening on the way drive home to you guys talking.
Wait.
And can
Were you
hear me?
texting and driving?
I wasn't texting, but I was
Oh.
listening. And I did hear about when George or when Lance got drunk in his younger days,
Oh.
and Jeff McPhee called and said, "How was Lance?"
Did that
I was
really
mad
happen?
because I was young, and we had just had Lauren or Lance,
Oh,
and I
my
had made a nice dinner and was waiting, and it was like 8 o'clock, and he still wasn't
Wow.
home. And he comes home drunk off his ass, can't even walk.
Well, I went in the.
I
went in
know,
the
but I'm
front
just
yard.
laughing
She
because
said
I
she'll
was
be right here.
I wasn't that bad, but Jeff did call and say, "How's your husband?" I'm like, "I don't know. He's in the bathroom throwing up."
That
And
was
he's
one
like,
bad day.
One bad day. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Right now, he drinks what? Water?
Yes.
Stupid water.
You know, healthy.
I know.
So
He's
there
so
was
healthy.
there was a day that he would have a little libation once in a while, right?
What's that word mean?
A drink.
Oh, libation.
Libations.
I thought it was trying to swim.
He tried to swim too. He's not a very good swimmer.
Oh, I'm a
See,
great swimmer.
I shouldn't be here because I don't understand English anymore.
No,
What?
if you go
Yes,
into
you do.
small town America, Wyoming and stuff,
Yeah.
when there's a bar, it'll say like something and libations.
Yes.
Oh,
It's like kind of means it's got alcohol.
I thought it meant you don't live here. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Nope, it's
Now you know. You've got your libation.
It's amazing how I made it through 92 years of wandering through this earth. Cavemen. I knew a few cavemen.
Can you tell us about him?
Not really, because a couple of them were my nephews. And
Oh.
Leslie's High Lords. Leslie.
Were they
Hi, Leslie.
Sasquatch? Or-
Sasquatch. I don't know. I can't believe I'm sitting here next to this beautiful daughter-in-law. And
Sweet.
I mean it,
You're
Laura.
so- I love
I'm not.
you too.
I'm not lying like these bastards.
How
I'm being
cool is
honest.
this man? How fun is he? He really is. Every time we have friends over, they're always like, "Are George and Joyce going to be there?" And we always have to. We always have to. We want to invite them over and have them with us.
And please stop because
No, 'cause
really
it's
we
too
want to
fun.
stay home and sleep.
No, you don't. You
Yes,
gotta
we do.
keep coming.
No.
So
Elder abuse.
So would you ride on the back of the bike and take a trip with us up to Kernville?
You're serious?
Yes.
The answer is no.
Are you serious?
Yes,
Why?
I'm serious. I don't like it.
You
I'm
mind?
scared.
I'll be honest with you,
Scared.
George. I've only been on the back of the bike like 3 times, and 2 of which were with Galen. I did not want to be there because
Thank you,
I'm like
Josh.
I'm like a backseat driver. I'm like, yo, there's a turn coming up. thinking he's gonna, and then I know he's got it. I've never seen him ride out of control.
I'd
Yeah.
rather
That
fight
much.
Mike Tyson than be on a bike with
Allegedly.
you guys.
So to tell you how young my parents are on the daily, they'll have their happy hour, and a lot of times Laura and I will go over and have a quick happy hour with them, or say hi, smoke a cigar, and all of a sudden my dad will look at me and he'll go, Laura's sleeping. You better go home.
I'm usually.
Oh. Why do you do that?
I don't know. You're.
Why do you do? Are we that boring?
No.
Yes, I
I'm
know.
not as, you know what? I'm not as young as you are. You guys can stay up till 11,
No.
12, 1, 2, 3 in the morning. I'm out like 8:30 at night.
You're 106 years old, younger than us.
Well,
Stop.
I'll say this on Laura's behalf. She works a job at Thrashin.
Mhm.
She was here yesterday with both Lance and Luca,
Yes.
Yeah,
running her incredibly crazy.
her hands are full.
Her hands are full.
Keeps you
And-
And what's really cool about it is, and it's, you said it earlier, I mean, there are, what are you, 2 miles from Lance?
Yeah.
2.5
Mile and a half.
miles?
Yeah. All my parents, my daughter, Lauren, and Lance, their houses were all within a mile and a half of each other.
And if you could wish for a better mother or grandmother, she's in Vegas doing the shows with the girls for dancing. She's
Busy, busy,
taking
busy.
care of her mother.
Unbelievable.
We all
Like she's
have our
bouncing
busy
all
lives.
over the place.
Come on
We
in.
all have our busy lives.
Right here,
Here she is.
Teresa.
Come on in.
Sit right here.
Oh my God.
Come on.
We got
in.
the whole
Lance,
group.
take
No,
my
no, no,
spot.
no. Don't leave.
Come on.
Come on in.
Smell
You're
you.
late.
I saw you.
Yeah.
We got the whole group here
The
now.
whole group.
Oh
This
my
is my
God.
hot wife.
Wow.
George, this is Teresa. Teresa, this is George.
I know
George,
Teresa.
Nice to meet you.
My question is, how do you kiss him? No, I'm serious.
Very nice.
Come here, George.
Oh,
No.
shit.
Sit down. Sit down.
I'll kiss
I
you.
have to say this though. When you and Lance are over,
Mhm.
you make Joyce and I snooze. You're very boring. Sorry.
Why is it that she has to immediately come on the show and get roasted, George?
Her?
Yeah,
No.
you just
No,
roasted her.
Laura.
No.
You just roasted her.
Oh,
Because she's
okay.
roasted.
Okay. I'm just making sure.
And here's another beautiful lady.
Thank you. Thank you.
Everybody's beautiful.
So Laura and Teresa have known
You-
each other actually 42 years because they work together. Some
When
of
we
you know
were
Babies.
3 years old.
Right. So here's how the story goes. They
No.
worked at a
Yeah.
pediatrician's
Yeah.
office, and when Lance and Laura knew her, she had a boyfriend that we call Flat Foot. So you know, I'm like third fiddle here.
You're the fiddle that stayed.
Yeah.
Oh.
That I still, you're the fiddle I
That's
still
right.
play.
Right.
But I have to tell you, taking these ladies out on trips, we don't like it that often. We really don't. We don't want them part of the channel. It's just horrible because they have hair and makeup. And George, you understand, cold cream and
Yeah.
Blow dryers.
no. On a serious note, it's so
Dries
fun, and we
brushes.
get so many comments when they're with us about people wanting to ride with their significant others and have a good time, and they see you guys enjoying the road. I think the last video that we did where you guys were on it, I really like the piece where you guys started talking on the comms about what you felt about the trip and how much you enjoyed it and what you see and what you feel when you're out on the trips. And it makes it a really great time for us.
Yeah, it is. It's a fun time.
We have a good
Yeah.
time.
Mhm.
We
I
really
don't
do.
know how you girls do it, really. It's a hard ride.
We do. We enjoy it. Sometimes we look at each other and go, "Oh my gosh."
We just did that.
We
But in the
just did that.
beginning, it was hard in the beginning, getting kind of used to things, I think.
But even before the channel, we were riding through rain and snow.
Yeah.
And there was one time where our bike broke down and you guys as troopers went to go find water or something that we could put in it. And
Yeah.
you're gone, we're huddled under a tree and it's
Snow
snowing.
falling,
In the
yeah.
snow.
But it was an adventure. I can say that. That's how you have to look at it. It's an adventure. And also, I don't think I knew any better.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? We're just like, okay.
That's-
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Right?
That makes sense. I don't know how you did it. You did it. And
Yeah.
What did
Wow.
Lynn say? Your
There we
daughter,
go.
Lynn.
I love that George Coury. So glad he's finally on the show. Hi, Dad.
Oh.
Aw.
I
XOXOXO.
love that girl.
Mhm.
Love that girl.
Well, let's not talk about a birthday party. Josh.
Who's
Josh's
birthday?
birthday?
No,
Whose?
at one of the birthday parties that we had at the
What?
what?
Oh, George's 91st birthday.
90,
Oh.
90th.
90th.
Oh,
I had a
Josh.
little bit to drink.
Had a little bit to drink, and he kissed my sister.
He's kissing everyone.
Oh,
she's cute.
Sorry,
They
Dawn.
both are.
Lynn or Dawn?
That was Lynn.
Oh my
They're,
God.
but they're both.
He was
But she did
Uh,
say that night, who was that asshole? Wow,
was just
Josh,
working
you
my
got
way
a lot of nerve.
Into the family, dude.
You know, I'll tell you what, you kissed the right pretty girl. She was pretty. She still is
Yeah,
pretty.
she still is.
So George, any last comments you want to make?
Yeah. Let me out of here.
All right.
I'm done.
That's almost what Robert Patrick said. I'm done. I gotta go.
Shall we go have some dinner?
No, another drink, maybe.
Yeah.
But we're going to
Cigar.
have dinner.
No, another drink. 2 drinks, a dinner, cigar,
There you go.
dinner.
Can
That's
I
a
come
deal.
back and fall asleep on your patio?
You again?
Well, we hope you all enjoyed the show. We had fun. We had a lot of fun sharing what we do like on a Saturday night at their house, our house, their house. So
Did I
you
have
guys
fun?
got to hear it.
Did you have fun?
Did I have fun? I
Did you?
don't
Tell
remember.
him. Did you have fun? Tell him out there. Did you
That
have
was
fun?
like an hour ago, wasn't it? Was I having fun? Hey, you know what?
Say
What
it.
can I say?
Say something.
What a family. Josh, I'm talking
No, he wants a single camera.
Oh, the single
to
camera.
everybody
There it
out
is.
there. To everybody out there. I hope, and I know you do, have people like this in your family. I'm sure you do. Fun, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we love you.
I don't like you.
You
For
love
some
me.
reason I don't like kidding. Just kidding. I love everybody. I love everybody. Oh, boy,
Hey.
I've had enough.
Don't forget to subscribe to 2Lane Life. If you don't do it, you won't be part of this group. And
That's
there's More
right.
stuff coming.
In a
Where do you
week,
get the 2 Lane Live shirt?
2lanelife.com.
There you go.
So yesterday we dropped episode 1 of Arizona Bike Week. The ride out there with the East Coast and Thrashing Crew was an epic episode. If you haven't seen it yet, next week, episode 2 of Arizona Bike Week, checking out Tortilla Flat, doing some riding, doing some other things. Week after that, episode 3, which we're taking the scenic route home when the dudes split off, the Thrashing guys. Week after that, riding with Josh Brolin. Week after that, we did something pretty cool this week.
Yes,
You guys
we
are
did.
going to have to wait and see.
I want a couple more comments
Yes.
up. Let's get to Shannon.
Where is
Up,
it? There
writing.
we go.
Yep.
Thank you, George, for making my life a little better for knowing you.
That's
Cheers.
right.
Aw.
Let's
Wow.
get to
Billy, what's
Simon,
going on?
Right here. Excellent show. Thank you.
Rich Ortega.
Rich
Who's a big fan
Ortega
of
Hi,
us.
Rich.
Love Rich.
Down.
Am I blind? There we
There
go.
you go.
George, I'm your biggest fan now.
Aw.
Thanks,
Is that my
Rich.
wife?
That was Rich.
Wow. Rich who?
Thank you
Ortega.
all.
Ortega.
We love you.
Wow.
And
Good
with
night.
that, we'll see you
Down the
Down
down
road.
the road.
George.
Yeah.
See ya.
Are we done?